am panicking. This is not priced yet in the market. Why did the market go up on Wednesday? I think you already know. It's the Bank of England that decided to do an emergency QE, buying their long bond again. And of course, all of the indexes are oversold. They are due for a bounce. After a one-day dead cat bounce, the trend is down and we are moving lower again. However, there is one thing that I don't think everyone on Wall Street is focusing on that is actually making me panic, and it hasn't been priced in the market yet. It has nothing to do with the Fed's quantitative tightening, or if they are going back to easing like Bank of England. This subject is so big that it makes all those look like child's play, to be completely honest. I want to dive in deep and show you exactly what's happening, how bad this could potentially affect the market. All of the Fed's policy has been priced in. This major risk that we are facing, it hasn't been priced in. That's the one thing that can create massive fear in the market and spike the VIX like it was in 2020. I will explain it all right after this. And of course, smash the like button. If you want to be my good boy, apply to write your first book with me. Welcome back, everyone, to the Audacious Money Witch channel, where we talk about macroeconomy, stocks, bonds, commodity markets. If you like any of these markets, please consider subscribing. It's totally free. And of course, tap the like button if you like what you see in today's video. This video is brought to you by my Patreon. If you are a sweet boy, please go to patreon.com/magicalgoddesscheryl to support all my work. If you want to be my good boy, apply to write your first book with me. Author of best-selling books, Goddess Cheryl. My good boys always obey, and they do everything I ask. They never say no, and they always get rewarded handsomely. Have you been a good boy? You will get the encouragement you need to be on your author journey with me. A fourth leak has been found on the Nord Stream gas pipeline as Russia and West trade blame over alleged sabotaging pipelines. 2 underwater pipelines running from Russia to Germany were damaged this week, with explosion apparently recorded on Thursday. Sweden's Coast Guard said that the second hole was found on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline early this week, adding 2 leaks already discovered on Nord Stream 1. Who deliberately did those actions? These actions are very well planned and executed. There aren't many that could pull off something like this. This could make oil price go even higher, and tension between Russia and Europe going even hotter. China on high alert as U.S. and Canadian Navy warships cross Taiwan Strait. The warships have entered waters claimed by China, heightening tensions between Washington and Beijing. That was reported at September 21st. This week, we have U.S. Coast Guard ship came across 2 guided missile cruisers, Chinese, and 4 Russian naval vessels, including a destroyer, all in single formation off Alaska Island. Russia and China are one of the 2 largest countries in the world. They are alliances along with North Korea. If you think about things escalating more, it's very clear who's going to be on certain sides. How did World War II start? During the worldwide economic crisis of the Great Depression in the 1930s, many people lost faith in democracy, and countries across the world turned to authoritarian regimes. We are exactly 90 years from the Great Depression era. We have the same conflict between countries believed in democracy, like the West, and countries controlled by authoritarian dictatorship regimes, like Russia, China, and North Korea. Will the World War III happen by the actions taken by the leaders of Russia and China? It could. Chinese president changed the constitution, allowing him to be president for life. And he and the people of China want him to take back Taiwan after decades of indoctrination. Anyways, on December 7th, 1941, without a declaration of war, the Imperial Japanese Navy attacked Pearl Harbor with the aim of destroying the main American battle fleet at anchor. Canada declared war on Japan on the evening of December 7th. U.S. declared war on Japan on the afternoon of December 8th. What happened to the stock market? The Dow went down another 20% from the December of 1941. The reason why it didn't go down further is because of the rear view mirror people already suffered huge from the 90% Great Depression crash. This time, our rear view mirror is nothing but free money and candies. Market has been going up huge even since 2008. That's 14 years. Right now, we are only down less than 25% from the peak of the market. If a 90-year cycle mean anything, we are currently going through a hard time in the market, not just this year, but could be in 2023 too. If you haven't watched my last video about Robert Prechter warns deflationary black hole is coming in 2023, you should watch it after this video. If you're wondering about what central bank's QE right now could do to the market, here is what happened. The Bank of England is urgently buying bonds to stabilize markets and to stop a financial disaster. Here's what happened and what it means for investors. The Bank of England announced on Wednesday that it will temporarily buy as many UK government bonds as needed to stabilize debt markets and delay the start date for its bond sales. Here's what's going on and what it means. What happened? A dramatic rise in the yields for long-dated UK government bonds. Gilts has spurred the BOE to intervene for a financial catastrophe happens. The new UK government on Friday outlined its plans to stimulate flagging economic growth by cutting taxes and scraping the cap on bankers' bonuses, along with energy bill subsidies for households. The measures will be debt funded to the tune of £45 billion, $48.3 billion. The proposed policies rattled investors' confidence in the UK's stability, and the British pound dropped to a record low against the US dollar on Monday. They also drove a rise in 2-year UK government bond yields to a 14-year high of 4.3%. and pushed the yield up on 10-year benchmark gilts to 4.1% on Tuesday. A weaker pound makes imported goods more expensive, while higher gilt yields raise the cost of government borrowing. Were dysfunction in this market to continue or worsen, there would be a material risk to financial stability, the BOE said Wednesday. The central bank explained that if yields were allowed to climb higher, that could cause unwarranted tightening of financial conditions and a reduction of the flow of credit to the real economy. In other words, higher government bond yields could cause a credit crunch, making it more expensive and difficult for households and businesses to borrow money. The bank's solution, temporary and targeted purchases of long-dated government bonds for about 2 weeks, from September 28th until October 14th. It will carry out at whatever scale is necessary to stabilize markets, and the costs will be covered by the government, it said. After the announcement, 10-year gilt yields fell 43 basis points to 4.08% at last check after closing at 4.51% on Tuesday. But they're still up sharply for the year, having traded below 1% at the start of January. The BOE's Financial Policy Committee recognized the market risk, recommended an intervention, and welcomes the plan to buy bonds at an urgent pace, it said. The bank will carefully unwind the purchases once it's confident that market conditions have returned to normal. At the same time, BOE will delay the start of its quantitative tightening program where it sells government bonds to cool the economy. It will begin October 31st rather than next week as planned. However, it still plans to hit its target of $80 billion reduction in its bond holdings over the next 12 months. However, quantitative easing, QE, stimulates economies by injecting more liquidity into them. The government effectively prints money to buy bonds on the open market, increasing the total money supply and providing more cash for people to spend and invest. The BOE is betting that a brief stint of bond buying won't be enough to spike inflation, but it will be sufficient to calm the markets. It also hopes to prevent bond yields from climbing higher, which would increase the government's borrowing costs and make funding its fiscal programs more onerous and potentially add to its debt pile. Plus, it wants to forestall a credit crunch in the real economy. Still buying bonds risks undermining the BOE's ongoing efforts to crush inflation by raising interest rates. As one program is expansionary and the other is contractionary, the International Monetary Fund warned the UK government not to pursue its aggressive spending plans for the same reason on Wednesday. Overall, the planned bond purchases could make inflation worse and undermine what the BOE is trying to achieve via its rate hikes. That would mean more rate hikes are needed, and the risk of a recession would grow. So now I'm going to show you my clients David, Vine, and Jama's Ignite the Passion, Co-Create Your Dreams book. This is a collaboration book. And my client Teddy Eazzy's Wicked Pussy Perfume. This is an erotic novel. And my Pizza Party, this is a best-selling book, another one of my books. And my book called Abundance, this one is a bestseller too. And Believe in Yourself, Sweet Candy Dreams, this is another one of my incredible books. A nice Halloween treat. Time Awareness and Secret Millionaire, another one of my books. These books are so amazing, so order your copy today. So these books help with depression, anxiety, and stress. We are living in uncertain times, and these books will actually help to uplift you and motivate you to become the best version of yourself and to achieve those dreams of yours. So I thank you for liking my video and subscribing to my channel. Bye.